That is the boldest thing I've heard. Wow.
AFC South title and wins MVP.
Dude, I can't take you seriously.
Really?
502 games.
No way.
No way. I could have ran for 100 yards this next second.
I stopped listening halfway through because that's such a bad take.
Oh, welcome to Neutral Zone Reaction. My name is Jules Bergman.
I'm Brady Hannon.
And
we're ready to go. Let's go.
We are so ready to go. I'm hyped up for some football week 7. We just had week 6. We had no more undefeated teams left in the National Football League. We had some absolute superstars. We had Zach Wilson winning another football game. And
Zach Wilson he's looked decent. He's looked decent.
Damn right. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's time for Chosen or Frozen, presented by Culvers, our proud sponsors. Now, here's the deal. Culvers, they got a new thing for the whole rest of the month. It is the Curder Burger. You heard of that?
We had that last year. It's a good. You guys got to get it. It's good. It's good.
The Curder Burger has a whole mega cheese curd on top of the burger.
It's like a normal patty, and then it's one patty is literally just a cheese curd patty.
Yeah, it's fire.
It's like just a giant flat cheese curd. It's awesome.
It's fire. Y'all got to try it. So
yeah, you guys got to check it out.
Thank you again to Culvers, Chicagoland. We got locations in Northbrook, in Lincolnshire, and Buffalo Grove. And let's get into Chosen or Frozen. Last time we were talking about Nico Collins, right when he was breaking out, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
And I remember someone happened to be frozen who went by the name of Justin Fields, as far as I know. So it was a little rough. But let's start out with Chosen. Yeah. Who is your chosen player for this week's episode?
So I'm going to go with another young receiver here. Zay Flowers has been balling out.
Yeah, Zay Flowers.
I remember you texted me a few weeks ago. You're like, hey, the Zay Flowers over looks really good right now. And I thought, I was like, oh, he's delusional. And then boom, 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 boom. Zay Flowers has been on a tear. The Ravens look great. Lamar's look great. And the dude just gets open. He just catches passes.
He finally caught a touchdown this week.
I know. He's trending up, and I think he's breaking out. And he's not even there yet. He's still breaking out.
He's about to totally agree. He's been one of those guys, he's been getting the targets and the volume.
Yeah.
No one wants to catch the ball on the Ravens, apparently. So, did you watch you saw the game against the Steelers. We both picked for one of our Vegas picks. We both had Ravens minus 3.5.
That was the dumbest game ever, though. The Ravens dropped 300 yards of offense.
It was horrible.
I could have played receiver for the Ravens that game, dude. This Mike could have played receiver and probably the same amount of drops. They were bad. Well,
here's the thing with Zay. He is getting so open so many times in the game, but Lamar, I don't know. Lamar has kind of been holding him back, in my opinion.
You think Lamar, really?
I think, okay.
Why?
The thing is, he is this type of guy who is open in the middle field, and Lamar's just been missing him. Zay Flowers, that game I told you to bet on his over, Zay Flowers should have had 200 yards. He dropped one.
He also dropped a few.
There were 2 or 3 other passes that Lamar just completely missed him on. If they can,
but at the same time, Lamar is going to create lanes and create plays that other quarterbacks cannot make. Where a guy like Zay Flowers, who's quick and speedy, is going to get open and make the play on that.
He will.
So it goes both ways.
I'm not hating on Lamar here, but I think that they've got way more on this offense that if they can click, should let Zay absolutely go off. I think that's a good pick for your chosen guy.
Who's your chosen?
My chosen guy, I went to the defensive side of the ball, actually.
Interesting.
So I'm going to roll with not Bills quarterback Josh Allen, but Jaguars defensive end Josh Allen.
He's been on an up. I feel like he's just been uphill since he's just getting better and better. Have they paid him yet?
What was that?
Have they paid him yet?
I don't believe so. Maybe this might be his contract year now that I think about it. But all in all, this dude is going off this year. Let me read you some stats real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This Sunday, he went against a guy named Bernard Raymond, offensive tackle for the Colts.
Yeah.
And had 9 pressures against him.
That's
9
wild.
in one matchup. That
he's
ties
a
for the
tank.
most. That ties for the most pressures against any 1v1 matchup so far this
Dude,
season.
you pulled this stat off like the dark web, didn't you?
No,
Just
this was
tied
on
for the
this was
most
on
in any matchup since what, like week 5 of 2015. Like,
no. This was on either
It's like
PFF or
ESPN
Next
was
Gen. This was either Next Gen Stats or PFF. I can't remember. I saw it. Saw it
Sure.
a little earlier. But not only that, he's tied for second in the league with 32 pressures this year. Micah Parsons is in first, of course, and Josh Allen's got 7 sacks, which is, I believe, tied for either second or third in the league. Now, this is not your household name. It's not like Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons. I mean, an absolute dude who's been really carrying Jacksonville's defense. If Trayvon Watson isn't going to step up, then they needed someone to step up on the edge.
Fair. Okay, so for my Frozen.
Wait, hold on. We still got the fan chosen. The fans
fans
vote for their chosen player this week. So the fans sent in a couple names. One of my favorite ones we got, Robbie Chosen, Robbie Anderson.
Listen, I don't even know. Has he been doing well?
I have no idea. I haven't followed him at all. But in reality, let's go with one of their guys was the New York Jets' entire defense.
The New York Jets defense is stupid.
New York Jets defense is real scary. And that is...
I want to talk about this later, but the Browns defense is like stupid.
The Browns D is...
Yeah, I'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
But the Browns defense has some mind-blowing stats right now.
Well,
I don't know why, because they're the Browns, but they do.
I'm getting a couple extra comments about a couple extra comments on my phone right now about some chosen players. I'm hearing a guy by the name of struggling rookie Bryce Young and Mr. Potential Kyle Pitts. Hey, Kyle Pitts, though, in reality, if they figure out how to finally use him, the Falcons offense, maybe they'll finally click. The
Falcons should trade him. They're not using him.
I know. They
don't know how to. The Falcons, they're just the Falcons.
Well, the thing is, Desmond Ridder, he's never lost a game at home until this week.
Yeah.
In all of his Cincinnati, all of Atlanta so far. I think the NFC South's wide open. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's move out of Chosen. Let us know in the comment section who you think of our nominees. And now let's move to Frozen.
My Frozen player, you just mentioned him. It's Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
The Falcons are just
up and down. I don't think you can pick him as Frozen.
I think he's freezing. I think the Falcons do this every year. They do the same thing. They start decent, 3-2, 4-3, whatever it is. They were 2-0.
No,
and then they
don't usually do that. They hadn't had a winning record in 2 years. Get you fast.
They start off good. They always start out fast. And you're like, oh, the Falcons are going to win the division. All this crap that you make up in your head somehow. And I told you no. And I was right. The Falcons are the same Falcons they've been for multiple years. What are they, 2-4, 3-3?
They're 3-3. They're tied. Them and the Saints and the Bucks are all right there in the division. What do you mean?
But the Saints and Bucks are significantly better teams. The Falcons started 2-0, and they've just dropped games like flies. The Commanders. The Commanders just came off a week where they got beat by the Bears by 20, and they just easily beat the Falcons. The Falcons. I think the Falcons are trending down. I don't know. I'm personally not a fan of Desmond Ridder. I just don't think he's that good.
I just don't think he's good.
I don't know why. I just don't. And they don't win enough games.
I don't disagree that they're trending down, but I don't think they're even remote. If they win this week, they're first in the division. I mean, it's them and the Bucks.
I mean,
them and the Bucks and the Saints are all right there. You could say all three of those teams are trending down, and the NFC South's still wide open.
Well, the NFC South sucks, but that's a story for another day. We can go over that.
Yeah. Okay, so your Frozen guy is Desmond Ridder. I'm gonna go with a quarterback who, in my opinion, is 50,000 times more Frozen than Desmond Ridder, and he, it is Bama hate week down here in Tennessee. So I'm going to go with former Alabama quarterback Mac Jones.
No, why?
The most Frozen player.
He's not the most Frozen thing in the NFL is the Patriots offense, not just Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is the number one guy in their offense.
Yeah,
he's the leader of the offense. He's horrible.
He had a 50-yard bomb at the end of the game to go win a field goal, and the guy dropped it. And then he said after the game he couldn't get his hands on it. Like
Okay,
that's not Mac
listen to
Jones.
that. Like it's been what 3 or 4 weeks since the last Chosen or Frozen episode. Every single week, Mac Jones has looked terrible. He's been horrible. You know how many yards he's thrown for in these games? His last 3 games, he's thrown for 150 yards, 110 yards, and 200 yards. And he has 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. Now tell me he's not frozen. The Patriots have scored 20 total points in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's like New York Giants. I should have Daniel Jones.
Well,
Daniel Jones would have been such a good one. I don't know how I didn't think of that.
He's hurt, but yeah, I'd say he's frozen.
Okay, no, I'm taking it back. I'm going Daniel Jones. The New York Giants offense is more stagnant than anything I've ever
He
seen.
didn't even play last week. You can't pick
I don't
Danny
care.
Dimes.
He played the rest of the season. They've scored 1 offensive touchdown the whole season in the first half, and it was on defense.
Yeah, that's fair.
They didn't even score a touchdown last week. They had it on the 1 twice, and they ran the clock out and then threw it over Darren Waller's head. Like,
Yeah, but that's not Danny Dimes. You can't be calling Danny Dimes frozen and then make your
the whole state of
about-
New York, except for the Jets defense, whole state of New York's frozen. But
All right, and our
Wait, no,
fan
say it,
pick,
Trevor.
our fan pick that was sent in this week. You know, someone who usually knows ball sent in this pick, and I'm here to tell you right now, I don't think this pick knows ball. He said Puka is frozen.
how is Puka frozen?
Stop it right now. Stop it right
Cooper
now.
Kupp,
One bad game.
One of the best receivers in the league, came
comes
back.
back.
That doesn't mean Puka's frozen.
Exactly. I agree with that.
That's awful. Who
I
said
think-
that?
I think there is no way Puka's frozen. He has one bad game. He's already got figure it out, Hannon. he's had one bad game in the whole season. I mean, there's no way they run this offense without him. The Rams are going to make the playoffs as a wild card team. And
Honestly,
don't give me that head shake. The Rams are absolutely going to make the playoffs as a wild card.
You also think the
I'll bet
Falcons are
on
still
that
going
with
to win
you
the
right
division,
now.
so I don't know what to believe anymore, Jules.
Sorry, what did you say before that?
You also think the Falcons still have a chance, so I don't know what to believe anymore.
the Falcons do still have a chance. Every team in the South besides Carolina still has a chance.
Dude, the Panthers are so bad.
Yeah, we're gonna have
my
their
God.
first round pick. It's gonna be all great. Happy times, you know.
Happy times. We're gonna mess it up. It's the Bears. Don't forget that.
All right, so let us know which player you think is frozen, and we're gonna wrap up this segment with today's flavor of the days at our local Chicagoland Culvers.
Hey, what are they? What are they?
We got blackberry cobbler at Northbrook.
Solid.
Pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Then we got strawberry chocolate parfait in Lincolnshire. Also sounds pretty good. And then
That's the best one.
And then the Buffalo Grove one,
That's
I
good.
think this one sounds fire. Cappuccino cookie crumble. Hit me with some cappuccino cookie crumble.
That's good. Those are good options.
I'll-
Definitely check that out.
I want to buy some of that afterwards. Let's move on to the next segment of our show. And we're going to be talking about a couple other teams. We put the Jaguars on the background just for the time being. Let's talk about some of the upsets this week.
Yeah.
How about that? Go ahead.
So I want to go into this Browns 49ers game. People are underestimating this Browns defense. Let me rip off some stats real quick. In 5 games, they've allowed 1,002 yards, 15.4 points per game. They've allowed 7 touchdowns all season. That is crazy.
7 touchdowns through 5 or 6
5
games.
games. That's
5 games.
crazy.
That is pretty
Like
good.
they average the other team averages 200 yards of offense a game.
The big standout for me in this game is
That's crazy.
how on earth did the Browns win this game without Deshaun Watson?
I don't know how they won. They started with PJ Walker, who looked incompetent on the Bears earlier this year.
Yeah,
And he just beat the
a not so
49ers.
impressive preseason.
They also, Mr. Irrelevant Perfection, Brock Purdy, they made him look bad for the first time ever.
Mr. Purdy himself, you know, the stud QB, the young gun.
What are you wearing?
These sunglasses I got at the football game the other day.
So please don't.
Yeah. that's
Anyways,
all. I threw them on for the golden boy, Brock Purdy, you know, because they got
keep
gold,
trying. Keep trying.
they got
Keep
gold
trying.
lenses.
Anyways, they made Brock Purdy look bad for the first time since like Iowa State. So props to the Browns defense. They're balling.
And my big takeaway from that game? Well, not a takeaway, just one of my fun stats I saw.
What?
Myles Garrett had the highest pass rush win rate against Trent Williams in like the past year or 2 or 3 years. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
even
believe that. Dude, Myles Garrett is so
long
good.
time.
He's so good.
I mean,
There was a quote released after the game where Trent Williams was like, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Easy. No questions asked.
Yeah, the Browns, like, I don't know. They could be a contender, low key.
Yeah.
If there's any way that Stefanski can get Deshaun Watson back to his true form, his Texans form, this offense could be
Deshaun Watson was so
or not
good.
this offense, but this team they could beat anyone. They already showed they could beat anyone. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think, at least. I couldn't believe that. I almost made a parlay, and then it was like 12:59, and I decided not to place it. It was going to be Niners minus 9.5, McCaffrey over 73 rushing yards, and the 49ers to score 23 points.
So
if you fully faded that, you would have hit big.
All right, let me next time you make a parlay, please let us know.
Hey, I didn't place it. That's why it didn't.
I hope not. All right, what about this other game? The Jets beating the Eagles.
The Jets beating the Eagles. That
What
was
do we think of that? 20-14. Jalen Hurts looked shaky. Zach Wilson looked. I mean, he looked competent, which is an upgrade.
Yeah, that was a big.
What do we think?
Me. 2 weeks ago on this show, I said I picked that the Rams would be the team to finally beat the Eagles, and they could not get the job done. So the Jets defense hanging with them the whole time. I was really impressed personally. I mean, Eagles had 4 turnovers, 3 picks, and a fumble.
It was bad. I mean, the Jets defense is just balling.
Well,
like they're deep, they're energized. Salah's going crazy on the sideline.
It seems to me like the turning point for this season, this young season, is when the reports came out that Salah was going to lose the locker room if he kept starting Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
and I don't know if
not to.
Zach started playing well, and I guess the defense decided we want to play for him. We want to play for this guy, and the fact that Rodgers suddenly starts walking on the field, throwing around like he's fine. No,
literally, dude. Apparently, he got some crazy surgery, and he might be back before.
He got a special kind where he can make
surgery,
cut the recovery time in half.
Yeah,
so, all right. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Let's say it's the start of the playoffs. Who are you taking to go farther, the Browns or the Jets?
What if neither team probably makes the playoffs?
Let's pretend here that both teams make it.
Who are they playing?
Well, also, who has a better chance to make the playoffs?
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Since you seem to think they aren't both going to make it.
I'm going to go with the Jets. I think the Jets because the Jets have already gone through the gauntlet, the hardest part of their schedule, and they're 3-3. So I think they're going to win more games. I think they're going to finish 9-8, 10-7. I think I don't think the Browns win 9 games. I just don't. I mean, no, but the Browns' defense is so good. But they also have their division's so good.
And they already lost to Pittsburgh, so it's not like they
did lose to Pittsburgh with the Browns.
They lost on Monday Night Football.
I don't even remember that. What was the score? 3-0?
26-22.
Really? They have 26 points?
No, the Steelers D got a pick 6 and maybe a turnover at the 10-yard line or something like that.
Yeah, Matt Canada smiled. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you have the Jets making the playoffs over the Browns.
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Over the Jets?
I think the Browns. I trust Deshaun Watson. Okay. In a football field, solely football field sense, I trust Deshaun Watson more than Zach Wilson.
Oh, wow.
Thanks Any other life activity? Well, I had to clarify so I don't get canceled or anything.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to disagree. You said, wait. You changed
I said the
your
Browns.
answer.
I think the Browns. I got to get water.
You think the Browns? Okay, see, yeah. I'm going to change my answer and go with the Jets. Or not change my answer. I'm going to still go with the Jets. And the reason for that is simply because they've got more weapons. Breece Hall is starting to break out. Where did you go?
Sorry, it was like buried in my bag. I got it.
Oh, Buddy needed the water break. Okay. I'm going to go with the Jets because Breece Hall is Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson is Garrett Wilson. And Jermaine Johnson,
And
Quentin
Zach
Williams,
Wilson
Quincy
is Zach
Williams.
Wilson.
And you know what? No, I don't think you can say that right now. I think he's playing. If he plays,
Zach Wilson plays not to lose, which is going to work against some teams, but not against most.
If Zach Wilson plays Jimmy G football for the next 10 weeks of the season, the Jets will make the playoffs.
Maybe, but he's not playing Jimmy G football. He's playing like downgraded Jimmy G football.
The last 2 games he has. The last 2 games
he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass.
Did he against Kansas City? Or
yeah,
no, they played Kansas. Then they played the Broncos, and he played winnable enough to win football.
Okay, the Broncos are terrible. Let's not judge.
I know, but I'm still saying I think that
I'm just saying. I think the Jets barely beat the Eagles with 4 turnovers, injuries, and Jalen Hurts' worst game in probably 2 years.
Well, why did he have his worst game? Because their defense dominated and they game planned. Good. And they were
at the same time. It like 2 of those picks were tip balls.
Also, okay, yeah, they've got guys getting their hands up on the ball.
But that happens to every team. I'm just saying.
It was not like it was on a drop that bounced up in the air. It's not like remember that West
I'm just
Virginia
saying if that game happens 10 more times, the Eagles win it 8 out of 10 times.
But they lost. There's no what ifs. There's no what ifs in the NFL. You win or you lose.
I just think the Browns are going to win. I think the Browns win more games. I
also trust Robert Saleh to keep their defense going like this more than Kevin Stefanski.
But do you trust Zach Wilson?
And
are you sure you trust Zach Wilson?
What?
Do you trust Zach Wilson, though? That's the question. Both defenses are great. But I trust the Browns offense a lot more than I trust the Jets.
I think there's a shot. Okay, well, that's 2 of the upsets. We're going to move on to – I have a short request real quick. Okay. So we'll do a quick little segment. Let's talk about quarterback prospects right now for 3 minutes. Give me your takes on some of these quarterback prospects, and then we'll keep going with a couple of our other NFL topics before This Week in Vegas.
Okay. I mean, what do you mean? Just what I think?
Yeah, do you think Michael Penix Jr. is he going to be solid in the NFL, or is he just a Heisman guy? Do you think Drake May is going to be that guy? Do you think Caleb Williams is falling off right now? He had a horrible game at Notre Dame.
This is what I think. I think Caleb Williams is overhyped.
Ooh.
I think he's good. I think he's more of a project than people realize. People think he's going to walk into the NFL and be Mahomes. That's not realistic. I think he can be really good.
The Bears can't finish a project.
What?
You know that the Bears can't finish a project.
The Bears can't do anything. I'd feel bad if the Bears drafted him. I genuinely would. Drake May I think he's good, but I think he reminds me of Will Levis.
Give me a break.
No. Not
so
like
much criticism. What's Drake May done to make you think he's doing that? Drake May's been good.
He's good, but there's just not that it factor, I feel like.
See, here's the difference. Will Levis wasn't good.
Will Levis wasn't good, but Will Levis was such a high prospect because his mechanics were so good and because he was big and strong. Same with Drake May, but neither of those guys had that it factor where you're like, oh, no one else can do that. All the top quarterbacks, Caleb Williams makes plays that are magician-like. There's no, Michael Penix literally does not throw incomplete passes. It's in a bucket 70 yards downfield every time.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
I think
Michael Penix great game with them in Oregon.
I think Michael Penix will be a successful NFL quarterback. I think Michael Penix is really good.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what other quarterbacks there are that are at the top right now. People say Jalen Daniels from LSU is going to be a first-round pick. I don't really know about that.
Not by the way. He's been playing well, he's not. He's not.
I don't think he's a great thrower.
Yeah,
I think he's overrated.
He's a little more of a raw prospect.
Illinois quarterback. We're not going to go into that.
I haven't dug too deep into any of the lower tier school guys that have dudes. So we'll highlight that later in the season when when we start to hear about that.
Once we get closer to draft time, the Bears lock in the first 2 picks, then we'll go over that.
Yeah. All right, let's pivot back to the NFL because let's talk about the Bills and the Bills real quick. They almost got upset. And I mean, they really almost found a way. The Bills have looked horrible in their last 2 games. You had them when we are a Mr. Worldwide segment, and you had the Bills you had the Bills winning by, I think you said, double digits, 12, 15 points, and they go to London and get stuffed by the Jacksonville Jaguars, or by the London Jaguars, might I say. And then they have a Monday Night Football home game. They got the Color Rush unis on, and they really struggle against New York. Is this a concern for the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, I think the Bills are like the most confusing team in the NFL, and I don't even think it's close.
You said that about the Titans last week.
Okay, they're both confusing. But the Bills are like good and confusing. The Titans are just mid and confusing. Like the Bills will go and they'll play like a top team and they'll win 38-10 and just look like the greatest thing ever. And then they'll do what they did against the Giants and just suck. Like I don't know I don't understand it. Josh Allen will throw for 400 yards and 8 touchdowns, or he'll throw for 8 picks. And there's nothing in between. I just don't understand it. And the reason that's dangerous is because when they go into the playoffs, are they going to be able to string together those games against Cincinnati, Kansas City, Baltimore, whoever they play? If they go into Pittsburgh, let's say, if they face Cleveland's defense, probably not. But, they play these top teams. They play Tua, who's on a hot streak still in the playoffs. They play one of these teams in the playoffs. Are they going to be able to go 3-4 games on this hot streak? I don't think so.
I'm concerned about the Bills for a different reason. I think they just keep on piling on these injuries, and similar to the Ravens, who we've got the Ravens background screen on right now. Yeah. The Ravens a couple years ago had they lost almost their whole team and their whole depth chart.
8 starters out by week 2.
Yeah, they were a complete disaster with the ambulance going back and forth from the field to the hospital. I mean,
it was just an Uber at that point. Yeah.
The Bills.
Also, really quick, did you see DeMar Hamlin got his number retired on the ambulance doors?
Yeah, that was.
I don't know if that's weird or cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. But anyway, the Bills keep getting hurt, and they're not going to be able to sustain once again, like you said, winning against some of these top tier defenses. I really think this is going to be a defense wins championships type of season, but that means that there's a guy who's creeping in. He's been hurt and he's coming back soon. And I think he could be the absolute X factor to propel one of these teams to the Super Bowl. Ready to hear it?
I mean, you're going to tell me anyway.
Give me 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you get when you watch shows with Jules Bergman.
Someone's coming back from injury, and he goes by the name of Jalen Ramsey. Miami
Dolphins.
Literally
not even the right. It's not even the right team. That was the hanger is still there, Jules. You could have done.
I just took it out of my closet.
There was so much potential, and you just
took it
ruined
out of my closet. The Miami Dolphins defense, when the Miami Dolphins, when Jalen Ramsey comes back, are going to win the Super Bowl.
I predict them to win the division at the beginning of the year. They're good.
I mean, I don't know. That was kind of a sudden pick, but the Dolphins are that team. I really do think so. I think they get Devon Achane back. If they can keep Tyreek and Waddle, Mostert, and Achane, if that big 4 is healthy for the playoffs, I don't care how Tua plays. He can just throw a screen pass to his dudes. He can throw a toss. I don't care what they do. Mike McDaniel is going to coach this team well. He's got a new style of football that a lot of teams haven't played before. And you know what? They get Jalen Ramsey back, and this team is going to win the Super Bowl. If it's not even an if. We know Jalen Ramsey is an absolute lockdown corner, and the rest of the defense has been pretty solid this year. They'll continue to get better, I think. They've got games against the Patriots still. So, I mean, that's just a field day for any defense. And you know what? I really think the Dolphins have it. That was kind of an impulse pick that I did not expect to talk about tonight.
Yeah, speaking of
The injury bug is going to keep hitting the Bill. The injury bug, not keep hitting. The injury bug has hit the Bills. They lost Matt Milano, their star middle linebacker. They have no Tremaine Edmonds now because he's on the Bears. And
which does not matter, by the way. They still suck.
And the Dolphins, they rebounded real quick after a slow start to Miami. I mean, they've had those games where maybe they don't start perfect, maybe they don't finish perfect. I just think they can put it together in the playoffs and play good enough defense to win the games, even in a season where the Jets and the Browns, and it's kind of this defensive mindset for a lot of teams that are contenders.
Yeah, so I'm going to say something that might shock you.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead.
It makes me uncomfortable to say it. It does. But is it fair to say the Lions are the top team in the NFC?
Absolutely, it's fair.
That's so weird.
I know, right?
Why are they good? They're not supposed to be good. It's like the Bears being good. It's not supposed to happen. Like the NFL script like fumbled. They circled the wrong thing.
I picked Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year, and you said, "Of course you did." And I'm like, "Hey, the Lions are going to be good." The Lions are a very solid football team. I think the Niners are still the top team, but I don't think it's crazy to say the Lions might be. Not at all. Speaking of the Lions, it's time for This Week in Vegas with our boy Jamison Williams. And for the first time in probably over a year, I have a better percentage record than Brady does.
I'm 3-5.
Yeah. You're struggling.
Oh my God, that's awful.
You're also,
to be fair, like I've been pretty busy. I'm doing my picks right now.
Oh wow, unbelievable!
I have good picks. Don't worry.
Well, you also are. I've made 3 more picks than you since you missed that one episode with illness. But
so if I go 2-1, I'm even with you. Yeah, whatever.
You'd be even with what I would be. I'll give you a week where you make 3 more picks than I do. Maybe I'll do 1 and you'll do 4 or something. But for now, we got 3 picks apiece this week. While you're figuring it out, I'm going to
start because there is one of these picks that just is like the most free thing I've seen in a minute.
Okay, and which would that be?
So I know we were talking about this earlier. Yeah, NFC South is brutal. The Jaguars are +1 against the Saints. That's like unbelievable. Is that real?
Have you been living under a rock? Trevor Lawrence is highly questionable for Thursday night with an injury. They might not have their starting quarterback.
Wait, are you serious? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, goodness gracious. And this guy is a co-host on a football podcast.
Dude, I have not looked at NFL. I've not had time to look at NFL news in probably.
That's not good. That's not good.
Okay, wait. You go then. I'll keep making my picks.
Hey,
I'll replace it.
Always stick
my
with the
first
Jaguars.
Official pick is Commanders -2 against the New York Giants.
Commanders.
Sam Howell has been playing good. What?
Commanders -2, you said?
Commanders -2. I don't care who lines up a quarterback for the Giants. Honestly, I hope it's Daniel Jones. I think Tyrod Taylor is better. But
I think Tyrod's better right now, too.
Yeah. The Commanders they're going to get pressure. Sam Howell's been playing decent. And the Giants just suck. It's 2 points. It's a money line pick. You know what I'm doing. That's my pick.
I'm going to go with the Lions +3 again at the Ravens. I think +3 is generous. I think the Ravens are not a better football team than the Lions. And I think that the -3 is purely a home field advantage from Vegas. Give me Detroit to keep rolling.
Fair. I like that.
Yep. What's your second pick?
My second pick, I'm going to go with the Dolphins +2 against the Eagles.
That's going to be a great game.
I'm so excited. Well, I'm not going to be able to watch it because, the pledge. But it's going to be a good game. I mean, the Dolphins just roll everyone. And the Eagles usually roll everyone, but they had an off week. So we're going to see how they respond. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of fun.
I'm just happy that we'll finally get a good like 2 good teams on Sunday Night Football.
No, that
That's not happened really all year at all. And somehow we get good games out of Bills Giant. Not good games, but close games.
End of the game, yeah.
And then we get close games.
Games.
I still can't believe Josh McDaniels pulled a OG Packers and down 8 took the field goal against Pittsburgh. Like
OG Packers.
Yeah, remember when they did that against the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship?
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Very much so. That was
Yeah,
your second pick. My second
for the
pick
second thing.
is, speaking of the Bills minus 8.5 at the Patriots.
I like that. I was thinking about that. Now that you picked
I
them,
see no reason.
Good idea.
I see no reason to think the Bills won't wipe the floor against them, even though they're hurt. And we just talked about how we're concerned with the Bills. Like,
Okay, but the Patriots do not score points.
The Patriots have never looked this bad in my whole 21 years. So give me the Bills by 9.
I like that. With my last pick, I had a double take at this line. I didn't believe it. Raiders -3 against the Bears. Justin Fields is not playing. They have a rookie undrafted free agent starting, and they are 3-point underdogs. Someone in Vegas misclicked. They meant to add a 1 in front or something. I don't know what happened. The Raiders are going to, the Bears might not score.
You know, the Raiders also don't have their quarterback.
I don't care. Aiden O'Connell is significant. Aiden O'Connell's, decent.
Aiden O'Connell didn't play last week. Brian Hoyer started for them.
Brian Hoyer's still.
This guy doesn't know ball.
Okay, look. I've been off my game a little. It's hard. I don't watch football. I can't watch football on Sundays right now. I just follow it.
Unreal. I think that you know what happened last time you picked against the Bears? It was 2 weeks ago on This Week in Vegas, and you took the Commanders -6.
Every time I pick against the Bears, they go off. So maybe this will happen again. If I get the Bears pick wrong.
Yeah, but shouldn't the Bears?
Do we want them to win?
Shouldn't the Bears be losing right now? So
yeah, they really should. It's over. But
it's over. Hey,
what are they going to do?
I am excited to see Tyson Bagent play quarterback for us because he looks like kind of promising in the preseason. Maybe he'll be the guy.
Yeah, but he also turned it over twice in 5 drives and did a jump ball 40 yards downfield.
He did, but Daniil Hunter was having a field day yesterday, so it's not surprising that the Vikings defense was able to get to him.
You can't twist and jump through in the NFL. That's like a high school thing.
Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us today.
Yeah.
Hope you all enjoyed on this week's episode. Thank you to Culvers again for sponsoring.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Bear down, and we will see you next time, which is going to be next Tuesday. We're not doing an episode on Halloween. We're not doing an episode on Halloween, so we're going to be back next Tuesday. See y'all later.